So what about Sky Television? What about all the channels that show police this, police that, you know, chasing these poor people down and basically kicking the hell out of them, pepper spraying them and all those different bits and pieces? What are they going to do? They're going to start finding all these companies. They're going to start to pull all this crap off the television so it's not forced down our throats.
Well, they're registered corporations, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Go find them.
Exactly. So what you're seeing is you're seeing two-tier. You're seeing two-tier. We're not allowed to do it, but certain corporations are allowed to do it. And that's why the propaganda that they use all the time will be spewed out and spewed out and spewed out, because that's basically what they're doing. Have you ever watched one of them police programs? They're outrageous. I've never seen anything like it.
They're good. They're good information sources.
It's basically, I believe I don't know any of the names, but I believe one's called Police Stop or something. It's about them chasing people around in cars and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it's caught on camera, yeah, that's another one.
What about the cars with the spine thing on top of the roof?
I ain't seen that yet. I've seen the ones with the camera on their head. It's like a cyborg, isn't it, out of stuff?
There's also around here black cars with cameras on.
I haven't seen that. I know up in Birmingham they've got white transit vans because Darren chased one up the road with his camera. Every single police force in this land is a corporation. And this one might ring a few bells because it's the City of London Police. Below it, Northumberland Police Authority, Gwent Constabulary trading as Gwent Police Authority. They're all corporations, every single one of them. And they use a language against you that's called legalese. Does anybody know what legalese is?
Looks like English.
It does, absolutely, yeah. Tomorrow you can go out and start a society. Anybody can do it. And there's millions of them. And you can give that society its own language. That's up to you. Don't matter what language you use, you're allowed to, you can basically do. Legalese is such a language. It's English, but the words have very different meanings. Very different meanings. But you just don't know what the meanings are. And legalese is the language of the Law Society, the advocates. In legalese, must is synonymous with may. So if a corporation says to you, you must do something, they're actually saying you may. Because they have to give you a choice. Summons is synonymous with invitation. What you heard me say earlier, I was invited. Because when you get invited to a court of law, remember it's a corporate court of law, and it is a corporate court of law, you're being invited to a place of business to discuss how much money you're going to give them. That's what you're actually being done. That's what's happening, but you just don't know it's going on. You believe it's the law of the land and I must turn up at court, but you don't have to, because you're actually being invited somewhere.
How do you turn down the invitation?
I'll get on to that. There is a way, I've just done it. And it's funny as well. Understand is synonymous with stand under. So if someone says to you, do you understand? And you say yes, basically in their world you've agreed that they've got authority over you. That means that you stand under that person. And it's all about the person. The Law Society, another company. Doesn't matter where you look. Go and check. I'll tell you what to do. Check your local fire service, your local hospitals. Check everything in your local area and you will find it is either a company or a trading name of another company. My local school, my son's school is a trading name of the local county council. Fire brigade, trading. Ambulance, trading. I can show you, we've got all this, I won't because it'll just take too long, but it doesn't matter what you look for. And it's in any country. A lady came to me recently about a problem. She came up to the house and we searched a school in Canada that she used to go to. And it's a company. I searched New York City Council today. It's a council. It's a company. They're all, everything, the whole world, they're all companies. But the Law Society, again, is another company. The Ministry of Justice trade as all the magistrates' courts. Actually, that's their trading name. So when you go to a magistrates' court, you're actually walking into a corporate place of business that is a trading name of the Ministry of Justice. What we did is we decided to buy the report on the Ministry of Justice just to see what it says. And this is interesting. What you see up the top here is obviously the Ministry of Justice. They trade as the Asylum Immigration Tribunal, the Magistrates Courts and the Public Trustee Office. That's their trading names. It says here, year of business started 1600. I couldn't work that out. I just told that to a barrister. I just told this, all this information I've sent to a lawyer who sent it to a barrister, and they turned around and said, well, if that piece of paper is true, which it is, according to where I got it from, it exists, we got it, we paid for it. He says this country has been lawless for 409 years. Because every bit of law that's gone through and everything that's gone through the justice system is being controlled by a business. I like this bit. Are there any significant legal proceedings, events against this company? A county court judgment was registered against this business on the 16th of the 12th, 2008. They don't even do good business. Who are the directors? Yeah. Who are the directors? Lord Faulkner. Who owns the business? No parent company. This basically, and their line of business, they're a government department. Now, I don't really understand the implications of this, and to be quite honest with you, I don't want to understand it. All I know is that this document is causing quite a stir. Because there's barristers now who are actually turning around and realising that the world that they live in and the world they operate in is not what it seems. And they've been fooled. They've been duped. Exactly what's happened to you.
What would they be if they went to company?
Well, as far as I was concerned, and this is only my point of view about it, I would say that they're a government public office that is paid for by income tax.
The credit limit recommendation's a bit low, isn't it? 3.5 million.
Yeah, I know.
It's not very much for the Ministry of Justice.
It's weird, isn't it?
That's a big limit for a company, for a corporation.
I don't, like I said, I don't know the implications, but the fact that this was actually created in 1600, as far as I was concerned, the Ministry of Justice is a very new thing.
Yeah.
So there's something quite strange. If I go to court, which I do quite often, well I used to, I don't now, I'm being invited to a place of business and they ask, first thing they say to you is your name. And they do, seriously, they do say to you, and they'll say, are you John James Harris? And I say, yeah. Well, I used to say, yeah. And it's a full name that's entered on my birth certificate. Mr. is the title of the person with legal status. It's nothing to do with the title, it's to do with the name. I didn't realise this till a little while ago, but it is nothing to do with the title. The title is just the legal status, i.e. Dr. Lord, PC, MP, QC are all titles, they're fictions. Absolute fictions. My legal name was given to me by my parents and it created my legal personality. This was applied to me, the human, by registering my birth. This is evidenced by the fact there is no title applied to your name on your birth certificate. Your birth certificate is just your name. There's no title. So that's what creates the legal personality. It's a piece of paper. This is why the courts and the police have never ever asked me for a title. They never have done. And I had to go back over everything that happened in my life to understand, and all the court appearances that I appeared in and the times that I appeared with, the police arrested me. And they never ever asked me for my title. They only ever asked me for my name. And they will ask, what is your full name? And title is only used when you're filling out some sort of form. Mr, Mrs, Miss, Ms. As far back as I can remember, like I've said. So when I'm asked for my name, they are talking to the person, not me. Okay? Because it was a name that was created and it was applied to a piece of paper that gave me legal personality. But it didn't give me anything. It's just a piece of paper. This is where I stand in law. Okay? Natural law is inherent. I talked about it a minute ago. It's just inherent. You know what's right or wrong. Whether you abide by it is down to you. But you do know what's right or wrong. You don't need to be told. Common law. There's a lot of stipulations about common law, where common law comes from. It's based upon religion, it's based on... But basically, common law is made up of two values. Do not cause harm or loss. It's basically in it. It covers every eventuality. There's nothing it doesn't cover. You don't harm an individual, you don't cause an individual loss. You don't harm their property, you don't cause them loss of property. It's simple. It's so simple. Commercial policy, civil policy and political policy apply to that piece of paper. But they need me, the human being, to represent that piece of paper, because all it is in real life is a piece of paper. Nothing but. It's just a piece of paper.